Welcome to Chapter 13. The topic of this chapter is deep learning. There are various algorithms in deep learning, but this course focuses on perceptron and a basic type of artificial neural network as an introduction. This chapter covers what deep learning is and the basic structure of artificial neural network. The model training and evaluation will be covered in the next chapter. By the end of this chapter, you will be able to explain what deep learning is and its benefit compared to traditional machine learning. Explain what perceptron is and its limitation. Explain the structure of artificial neural network and how it differs from multiple perceptron. Before diving into the theory and practice of deep learning, let's see what deep learning is. First, let's see the relationship between artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. Artificial intelligence is a technology that makes machines imitate intelligent human behavior and human cognitive functions. Machine learning is a branch of artificial intelligence, in other words, an application of artificial intelligence. Machine learning enables systems to learn from data automatically, that is, learn without being explicitly programmed. Machine learning is used to find patterns from data, and thus can be used to make predictions or judgment in various problems. Deep learning is a type of machine learning. It uses artificial neural networks to solve complex problems. A common misunderstanding is that machine learning and deep learning are different. Actually, deep learning is a subfield of machine learning. One reason why deep learning has drawn much attention is that it overcomes the limitations of traditional machine learning. Here, traditional machine learning refers to machine learning techniques that are not regarded as deep learning. So, let's see the limitations of traditional machine learning. The first limitation is that traditional machine learning cannot handle high-dimensional data. The performance of the traditional machine learning model tends to level off as the data amount increases. It is caused by a problem called curse of dimensionality. The second is that when we use traditional machine learning techniques, we need to extract features manually. And therefore, when we analyze image data or movie data, traditional machine learning techniques are not suitable because such data is high-dimensional. That is, it contains a great number of features. Deep learning techniques enable us to extract important features automatically. That is, we do not need to extract features manually. We can develop a deep learning model by using an artificial neural network that simulates the electric activity of the human brain. Compared to traditional machine learning models, artificial neural networks is better able to find low-dimensional features from high-dimensional data. So, by using an artificial neural network, we can alleviate the problem due to curse of dimensionality. An artificial neural network is one of the algorithms of artificial intelligence. It simulates the network neurons that make up a human brain. Neurons are the fundamental units of the brain. That is, the human brain consists of a network of neurons. Neurons are information messengers that carry information as messages between neurons through an electrochemical process. The major parts of a neuron are the dendrite, cell body, and axon. Dendrite receives signals from other neurons. Then, the cell body aggregates the input. And then, Axon sends it as a signal to the next neuron. These neurons' functions enable humans to recognize and process various and complex information. A network of neurons in our brains called a neural network has a hierarchical structure, like the one depicted in this figure. The information received by a sensory organ will be hierarchically processed as a signal transmitted through the network. For instance, when we look at an apple, our retina does not immediately recognize it as an apple. Instead, the information of an apple will become an electric signal and then will be transmitted from the retina to the neural network as an electric signal. And then, the process of inputs and outputs of the electric signal will be repeatedly and hierarchically implemented in the neural network. And finally, we can recognize the apple as it is. Artificial neural network is an algorithm that simulates these structures and functions of a neural network. Artificial neural network with a deep hierarchical structure like a human brain is called a deep neural network. Within a neural network, information is transmitted through neurons using electric signals. That is, a neural network is an electric circuit where electric signals are transmitted through neurons. When a neuron receives inputs from previous neurons, it aggregates the inputs. If the resulting value exceeds a certain threshold, the neuron sends an electric signal to the next neuron. This transmission of signal is called firing. That is, when the sum of the inputs exceeds the threshold, the neuron will fire. The strength of electric signals and the connections between neurons differ. So, the final output depends on which neuron receives how much electric signal. Therefore, we obtain different recognition from different information. Accordingly, when we model a neural network, we need to set the amount of electric signal from the previous neurons, the threshold, and the amount of signal that will be sent when the neuron fires. Let's see a simplified example of how a neural network works. Suppose we have 3 neurons. Here, 2 neurons obtain input first, and then transmit the information to the next neuron. So, we first consider the value of 2 inputs, x1 and x2. Each neuron differs in strength and the connection with the next neuron. The difference leads to the difference in the impact of each neuron's input on the next neuron. The strength of the connection between neurons is called weight. So here, we need to consider 2 weights, W1 and W2. The total amount of electric signals that will be transmitted from the first 2 neurons to the next neuron can be computed by this formula. If the resulting value exceeds a certain threshold, the neuron will fire. Thank you for watching. Please thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.